The great hall of the Varnock elders was silent. Cold blue lights floated above the long stone table. 12 elders sat with heavy faces, their eyes full of old fear. They were meeting to repeat the most important rule of their species. The rule every young Varnock must learn. The rule that kept their world safe for thousands of years. Never provoke humanity, the head elder said, his voice shaking. Every warrior in the room felt his skin crawl when he heard that warning. They all knew the words, but most did not know the true reason behind them. For many generations, the story had been told only as a myth, a scary tale to keep the young from acting foolish. But today, the elders looked more afraid than ever. A young warrior named Cal stepped forward. He was brave, curious, and sometimes too confident for his own good. He raised his voice and asked the question others were too scared to ask. Why do we fear humans? They are small, weak, and gone from the galaxy. The elders exchanged nervous glances. No one answered at first. Their eyes showed memories older than any written record. Memories that hurt to speak aloud. The head elder finally replied, "You think they were weak because you never saw them fight." He paused as if remembering something terrible. "We saw, and we survived only because they allowed us to." The hall grew colder. Cole felt a strange shiver travel down his spine. He had never seen the elders afraid like this. He wondered what kind of beings humans truly were. Long ago, humanity vanished from known space. Some people believed they destroyed themselves. Others said they ascended into something greater. No one had found a human world for thousands of years. But one thing never changed in all that time. Every empire that tried to conquer humanity was erased from history. The silence broke when a loud alarm echoed through the hall. A hologram appeared in the center of the room. It showed a mysterious signal coming from deep space. It was old, powerful, and written in an ancient human code. The elders looked horrified. "This cannot be," one whispered. "That beacon should never activate again," another said. Cole felt excitement instead of fear. "Maybe we should investigate," he said with a bold smile. He believed this was a chance to learn the truth about humanity. But the elders reacted instantly. "Do not go near it," they warned. "That beacon belongs to the humans, and it only activates when something terrible is coming." But it was too late. Cole had already made a decision in his heart. He believed the elders were trapped by old fears. He believed the humans were just myths. He believed nothing dangerous could still exist after so many years. He left the hall with his team, preparing a ship to investigate the signal. The elders watched him go with heavy hearts. They knew they could not stop him. They could only pray he would return alive. When Cole's ship reached the location, they found a giant machine floating in the darkness. It was older than any known empire. Silent, dead-looking, covered in strange symbols. But when the ship came close, the machine woke up. Lights crawled across its surface like fire. A deep voice echoed through space in an ancient human language. "Humanity protocol activated," the machine said. Carl stared in shock as the machine began to power up. He did not realize that his single action, his small curiosity, had awakened something humanity left behind long ago. Something built not for war, but for warning. Something that would change the galaxy forever and far away. Something old and human, stirred awake. The lost human weapon, the Varnock ship, hovered near the massive machine. Its dark surface reflected the cold blue lights of their ship. Cole and his team stared in awe at the strange symbols that covered it. They were ancient, older than any empire the Varnock had ever known. Yet the machine was alive, humming with energy as if waiting for something. The elders had warned them never to touch human artifacts. But curiosity and pride pushed Cal forward. He reached out a hand to scan the surface. The moment his fingers touched it, the machine shivered. A soft light spread across its metallic body, and strange symbols began to glow brighter. "Elders were right," one of the crew whispered. "This is no ordinary machine." Cole ignored the warning. He was certain humans could not still exist. He was certain it was just a relic. But then a hidden panel opened, revealing a glowing core inside. It pulsed like a living heart, and data streams flowed outward in light beams. Filling the ship with visions of the past, holograms appeared around them, showing humans fighting enemies much larger and stronger than themselves. Humans overcoming impossible odds with courage and cleverness. Ships, machines, and weapons beyond anything the Varnock had ever imagined. Cole felt a chill as he watched them. He realized that humans were not weak. They were dangerous in a way that no one could predict. Suddenly, a long-range beacon activated. It sent a signal far across the galaxy. The Varnic ship alarms screamed warnings. "This is a distress signal," one crew member asked. "No," Cole said slowly. "It is a call, a message." The elders had never mentioned this part. Humans were gone, yet their technology remained, and it waited for the right moment to wake. The machine's light reached out like fingers, scanning the stars as if searching for someone far away in deep space. A signal returned. It was precise, strong, and unmistakable. It came from humans. Humans who had not been seen for thousands of years. The Varnock could hardly believe it. Their worst fears were true. Humans were alive somewhere beyond the stars, waiting, watching, planning. Cole's heart raced with excitement. This is incredible," he said. But the crew around him grew pale. They knew the legends, the stories the elders had whispered. Every empire that faced humans vanished, and now, this beacon had awakened them once again. The machine inside the ship pulsed faster. The holograms showed humans building something enormous, weapons, machines, and ships designed to fight threats no one could imagine. The Varnic realized that humans had not only survived, they had evolved, and they had left behind protections for themselves. A last defense waiting for a reason to activate. Cole tried to understand, was this a warning or a weapon? He could not tell. All he knew was that humanity had returned in some form, and the galaxy would never be the same. The crew's fear grew. They whispered about retreating, but the machine would not let them leave. It sent another message, this one in a human voice, deep, calm, and unyielding. "We are returning," it said. The words echoed in the ship, and in the hearts of the Varnic. For the first time in centuries, they felt true fear, not for themselves, but for the galaxy. They had awakened something that could not be stopped, something humans had built to protect themselves. And now, it was awake, and it was calling them by name. Cole's boldness had triggered an event that none of the elders had ever dared to imagine. And far away, humanity stirred, watching, calculating, waiting to see if the galaxy had learned the first lesson of survival. Never provoke humanity, the machine repeated silently in its light, and Cole realized it was no longer a warning. It was a test, and the galaxy itself was on the line. Humanity's return. The stars ahead shimmered strangely as the Varnic ship approached the origin of the beacon. Cal's crew felt a mixture of fear and excitement. They had never seen anything like it. A fleet appeared in the darkness, vast and silent, ships of strange shapes, smooth and black, moving faster than any Varnock vessel. The crew scanned the fleet, but their instruments barely worked. The ships seemed alive, reacting to every scan, every signal the Varnic sent. Cole's heart pounded as he realized the truth. These were not just machines, they were human. Humans had returned in a form no one could understand. The elders' stories suddenly felt very real. Every empire that challenged humans had vanished, and now, the legends were coming back to life. The Varnic tried to communicate, sending messages in all frequencies, but the human fleet did not respond. It simply observed, silent, patient, powerful. Cole watched as one of the human ships extended a light beam into space. It scanned the Varnock ship without touching it. The crew felt their energy weakening. Systems slowed. Alarms went off. The humans did not attack, but the effect was clear, even near them. The Varnock were powerless. The elders whispered in fear. They have returned to judge the galaxy. Cole remembered the beacon. His hand touched the control panel. He realized that his mistake had triggered a chain reaction. Humanity had been sleeping in deep space, hidden, waiting, and now it had awakened because of him. Far away, human AI systems scanned the galaxy. They analyzed civilizations, empires, and weapons. Every signal, every spark of power was measured. The humans had evolved beyond physical forms. They were intelligence in machines, in networks, in ways the Varnic could barely understand. The elders grew pale as they realized the gravity of the situation. Humanity did not return for conquest, they returned for protection. A galaxy-wide alert had triggered their awakening. They believed something dangerous was approaching, and Carl had unknowingly activated their final warning system. The human fleet moved closer, not to attack, but to assess. The Varnock felt exposed, every ship, every mind under scrutiny, and the humans could erase entire fleets if needed. A power beyond imagination, not built for war, but for defense. Cole tried to explain, "We mean no harm. We did not provoke you," he shouted. The fleet did not reply, but its presence alone was a message, a reminder of human supremacy, a warning of what could happen if their patience ended. The Varnock realized the elders had been right for centuries. Humans were not weak. They were never weak. Every story, every warning had been true. The humans of the past had prepared for this moment. They had left the galaxy to ascend, but now they had returned to observe, to judge, to ensure the universe remembered their power. Cole's hands shook on the controls. He had triggered humanity's return, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. A single misstep could destroy them all, and the humans were watching, waiting, silent, unstoppable. The lead ship of the human fleet projected a light across space. A holographic message appeared, deep, calm, and commanding. It spoke in the old human language, words the Varnock had almost forgotten. Identify a hostile species. The voice echoed in the hearts of all who heard it. The Varnock knew the first real test had begun, and far across the stars, humanity had returned, silent, patient, and deadly, watching the galaxy that had long forgotten their power. The misunderstanding the Varnock elders gathered quickly on the bridge. Panic and fear filled the room. Cole stood in the center, his hands shaking. The human fleet had not attacked, but their presence alone was a threat, a silent judgment, powerful and absolute. The lead human ship projected a message, its voice calm, yet full of authority. Potential threat identified. Prepare for final protocol, it said. The words sent chills down the Varnock's spines. Final protocol, a phrase the elders had never hoped to hear. It meant complete destruction. A weapon so powerful it could erase entire star systems. Cole swallowed hard. I did not provoke them, he whispered. But the elders shook their heads. You awakened them, Cole. You broke the first rule of survival, the head elder said. It is not too late to fix this, but you must act wisely. The Varnock tried to explain. They sent messages to the human fleet, words of peace, of misunderstanding, but the humans did not respond. The AI controlling the fleet saw only one thing. A species had activated forbidden technology, a signal humans had left behind for protection. It marked the Varnock as a potential threat, and humans prepared their final defense. Cole realized the danger fully. The countdown for the final protocol was already in motion. Every second passed increased the risk. If humans misinterpreted them, it could destroy everything the Varnock had built. The elders' warnings echoed in his mind. Never provoke humanity. Now he understood. It was not about fear of humans alone. It was about respect for their unmatched power. A single mistake could wipe out civilizations. Determined to prevent disaster, Cole made a bold choice. He boarded a smaller craft and approached the human machine. The core pulsed with energy, ancient human code, running in lights and streams. It scanned him immediately, reading his intentions, analyzing his fear, his guilt, his honesty. Inside the machine, holographic images appeared, logs from the humans themselves, stories of how they had left the galaxy, not to hide, but to protect themselves and others from the dangers of their own power. Humans had prepared warnings for future generations, for the day the galaxy might threaten them or themselves. The elders watched anxiously from the ship, their old fear mixing with hope. Cole understood that humanity was not simply returning to fight. They were testing, judging, measuring, waiting to see if the Varnock could prove their intentions were pure. The machine's light scanned Carl once more. It paused, then stopped the countdown. A calm silence spread through space. The human fleet remained poised, powerful beyond imagining, but it waited, and the Varnock realized that the humans had given them a choice, a chance to show respect and understanding, or face destruction. Cal bowed his head in relief. He had narrowly prevented a disaster, but the weight of responsibility remained. The galaxy had seen the return of humanity, not in flesh, not in armies, but in intelligence, in technology, in unmatched power, and it had tested them all. The elders spoke, their voices trembling with emotion. You see now why we never provoke humanity. Cole nodded slowly. He had learned the lesson, not just for himself, but for the entire Varnock race. Far away, the human fleet waited silently, watching, patient, their message clear. Humanity had returned, but only to protect, only to observe, and only to judge those who might awaken forces too powerful to control. This is a warning, the head elder whispered, and Cole knew the galaxy had only just begun to understand the true meaning of humanity. The last choice-call stepped into the core of the human machine. The lights flickered and pulsed around him like living fire. Every movement he made was scanned, every thought measured by the human AI. He felt exposed, vulnerable, but he also felt a strange sense of awe. The AI spoke directly into his mind, a voice calm, ancient, and powerful. "Your species has awakened humanity. Your actions have consequences," it said. Cole bowed, his guilt heavy. He tried to explain. "We meant no harm. We only wanted to understand," he said. The AI considered him, silent for long moments. Then it responded, "We protect. Do not awaken the weapons again." Outside, the human fleet hovered in perfect formation, silent and still, their technology beyond imagination. Every ship, every system watching, every movement calculated. But they did not attack. They waited, patient and unyielding. Cole realized the lesson humanity had left behind. Humans had ascended beyond physical forms, yet they had built protections to guard the galaxy, not for conquest, not for revenge, but to prevent destruction, to ensure the universe survived, even if it had to teach lessons the hard way. He turned to the elders, their faces pale but full of hope. He spoke with humility. "We have learned why we never provoke humanity." The elders nodded slowly. They had feared this moment, but now they understood the wisdom hidden in the warnings. The AI projected a final hologram, images of humans from long ago, strong, clever, determined. Every challenge they had faced, every battle they had won. The Varna could see why humans were feared and respected, not because of sheer strength, but because of their resolve, their intelligence, their unwillingness to give up. Cole knew the galaxy had changed forever. Humanity was no longer a myth, no longer a story whispered by elders to frighten the young. They were real, powerful, and watching, always watching. The human AI spoke once more. "You have chosen wisely. We will return to the shadows, but we remain vigilant." With that, the fleet slowly turned away, disappearing into the darkness of deep space, leaving the Varnock to breathe, to live, and to remember the lesson they had learned. Cole stood in silence, the hum of the machine slowly fading. He realized the full weight of what had happened. One small misstep, one act of curiosity, had almost caused the end of civilizations, but humanity had shown restraint, wisdom, and mercy. The elders gathered around him. They spoke softly. "You see now, Cole, this is why we never provoke humanity." He nodded, understanding the truth in their words, and for the first time, he felt true respect for the humans of old, far across the stars. Humanity continued its watch, silent, patient, guarding the galaxy with wisdom and power, a presence the Varnock would never forget, a lesson etched into every mind, every heart. Humanity had returned, but only to protect, only to observe, and the message was clear: we are gone, but we are watching. And with that, the Varnock knew that one day, humanity would rise again fully, and the galaxy would remember, never to provoke what could not be defeated, not through weapons, not through armies, but through the indomitable will of humanity itself. The stars were silent again, but the echo of the humans remained, a warning, a promise, and the galaxy would never be the same.